Before we get to today's show, I wanted to share a quick reminder that being financially organized is one of the biggest factors in building wealth. Want to be a millionaire? It's not going to happen if you're not organized with your money. So, how can you get organized? Well, our favorite app is Empower. It's free, allows you to connect your banks and brokers, and it gives you daily income and expense updates. Ready to try it out? You can sign up at thecollegeinvestor.com/empowermoney. Hey there, welcome to the College Investor Audio Show. Taking a look at this article today. Student Loan Interest Elimination Act gets second push as defaults hit $233 billion. Yowza. But first, just a quick reminder, anytime you hear a podcast, there's an article right along with it, links, resources, more information, find it at thecollegeinvestor.com. You can also like and follow on social media. We're pretty much anywhere you are. Just type in the words The College Investor. You're going to find us. All right, let's take a look at this now. So Senator Peter Welch, Democrat from Vermont, Representative Joe Courtney, Democrat from Connecticut, held a press conference on Capitol Hill just last week, urging Congress to take up the Student Loan Interest Elimination Act, which would set the rate on every existing and future federal student loan to, you guessed it, 0%. The press conference marks the lawmakers' second attempt in 26 to move the bill. Welch introduced it in the Senate, Courtney introduced it in the House back on March 24th of 26, and neither version has advanced out of the committee in the 4 months since. But we covered that introduction when it happened, way back when. The renewed push arrives as federal default numbers reach levels the system has never seen before. Let's take a look at those numbers. 9.5 million federal borrowers, that's like 1 in 5, are now in default, meaning more than 9 months behind, up from 5.3 million in June of 25. The New York Fed had already flagged a 3.6 million jump in 91-point credit score drops among newly defaulted borrowers. Nuts! $233.3 billion in federal student loan debt currently sits in default, up from the $179 billion handed to the Treasury Department for collection earlier in the cycle. Nearly 43 million Americans hold federally held student loans, with an outstanding balance approaching, I just can't, $2 trillion? You can see our full student loan debt statistics actually. Dive into this article at thecollegeinvestor.com. About $40,000 is the average federal balance per borrower. That's a brand new car, hopefully with greater ROI. Am I right? 6.52% is the new undergraduate direct loan rate for 26-27, with graduate unsubsidized at 8% and plus loans at over 9%. So here's what this bill would do. If enacted, and it's still got a long way to go, but if it did, the Education Department would automatically modify every eligible loan so that no interest accrues. Borrowers would not need to apply to anything, and they could just opt out at any time. Borrowers holding older FFEL, Perkins, or Federal Health Professions loans could refinance into a 0% direct consolidation loan with no origination fee. Also, the bill blocks the major downsides of consolidation. Consolidating today normally costs borrowers twice. It can stretch out the repayment term, and it also resets the count of payments already made toward forgiveness. This bill would block both of those things. Anyone who consolidates keeps the same repayment term that was in effect on the original loan, and the Education Department would have to credit the new loan with prior qualifying payments toward public service loan forgiveness, weighting each old loan's payment count by its share of the new consolidated balance, then rounding to a whole number. That mirrors the PSLF weighted average rule already on the books. All new federal loans dispersed on or after July 1st would carry a 0% rate. Subsidized Stafford loans would completely end since the interest subsidy, kind of becomes redundant at zero. It's meaningless. And annual and aggregate borrowing limits would rise and be indexed to inflation starting on July 1st of 27. Now, I know what you're talking. I know what I'm thinking. How is this going to be funded? So the bill's distinguishing feature is its funding mechanism. The Education Department would create an Education Affordability Trust Fund holding borrower principal payments, And then a board of trustees would invest those dollars in Treasury and municipal bonds, and the returns would cover the administrative cost of running the program. Any surplus would fund supplemental Pell Grants and competitive grants for college completion and retention programs. Welch's office compares the structure to the Railroad Retirement Board. Now, let's talk about how this all connects. We covered the March introduction alongside Representative Mike Thompson's Lowering Student Loans Act, which would set a flat 2% rate instead of 0. Both proposals face the same practical issue. Roughly 60% of borrowers repay under income-driven plans like the Repayment Assistance Plan, RAP, or IBR, where the monthly payment bill is set by income, not by interest. Eliminating interest is just going to stop balances from growing and cut lifetime repayment cost substantially, though. But it also would not lower the monthly payment for most borrowers already in income-driven plans. And by the way, the Repayment Assistance Plan already does what the bill's trying to do via the interest subsidy already. So for the 9.5 million borrowers already in default, a 0% rate is really not going to do anything about collections that are going to be restarting soon anyway. Those borrowers still need rehabilitation or another path out of default to stop wage garnishment and tax refund offsets. So this is a bill that attempts to address defaults, but it doesn't. It does other things, which are good, but it doesn't really address what it's trying to address. The bill is endorsed by the American Association of Colleges and Universities, EdTrust, and the Hildreth Institute. With Republicans controlling both chambers, there's really no committee action that has been scheduled in either the House or the Senate. But I do want to note that Republicans are also coming up with their own bill, just a flat 2% rate rather than a variable rate. And that is our show for today. That's the update of what's going on. If anything else happens, you can always follow, like, subscribe, all the things on socials. Type in the words The College Investor. You're going to find us pretty much anywhere you are. We would love to help you wherever you are in your money journey. You can also check out thecollegeinvestor.com, read the bills, read all that's going on and the resources. It's all right there inside this article. Thanks again for stopping by today, and we'll talk to you again real soon.